talking to Dana. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's under the neck.
Oh, that's it.
Under the chin here. Could be the end.
He's got to fight the head. He's going to go to sleep if he doesn't fight the hand, DC.
It's over. It's over, Paul. It's over.
That's
That
it.
is it. 10-0. The hype is real. Khamzat Chimaev does it again.
Dana, nobody's like that. 10 fight, 10 finishes. Give me somebody.
From the very first time he stepped into the UFC's Octagon, Khamzat Chimaev has radiated an energy that strikes fear into opponents and thrills fans worldwide. This isn't just about winning. It's about absolute domination, violent precision, and sending a message that nobody is safe. Today, we're diving deep into 5 of the most brutal and unforgiving performances of Chimaev's career, moments where his sheer aggression and skill left fans speechless and rivals broken. Stay locked in, because some of these moments are so savage, they'll make you rethink what you thought about MMA violence. 17 seconds of fury. Rhys McKee, UFC Fight Island. Chimaev's next UFC moment was even more violent and efficient, setting a modern record for the shortest turnaround between UFC wins. Only 10 days after his debut, Chimaev returned to face Rhys McKee at welterweight. The result was a display as clinical as it was savage. From the instant the horn sounded, Chimaev shot in, dragged McKee to the ground, and unleashed a torrent of ground and pound that instantly overwhelmed the Irishman. In a mere 17 seconds, the referee waved it off, unwilling to let McKee endure any more unnecessary punishment. Chimaev landed over 60 strikes compared to 0 from his opponent, a ratio that only underscored his aggression and the sheer violence of his assault.
Undefeated mixed martial artist, holding a perfect professional record, 6 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 186 pounds. Fighting out of Stockholm, Sweden, Khamzat Chimaev.
Unforgettable debut destruction, John Phillips, UFC Fight Island. Khamzat Chimaev arrived on the world stage in July 2020, and his very first outing in the UFC was a harbinger of the violence that would become his calling card. Against John Phillips, a seasoned middleweight with genuine punching power, Chimaev imposed his will from the opening bell. In what looked less like a fair fight and more like a one-sided beatdown, Chimaev landed takedown after takedown, smothering Phillips with relentless top pressure. His ground and pound was unyielding and surgical, with elbows and fists carving gashes and leaving no room for hope. The beating culminated with a Bravo choke submission that forced Phillips to tap out, but not before absorbing a lesson in brutality. The UFC world sat up and took notice, stunned by the dominance on display from a fighter with only a week's notice to prepare.
He's talking to Dana. Oh my goodness.
He's got to fight the head. He's going to go to sleep if he doesn't fight the hand, DC.
It's over. It's over, Paul. It's over.
That's
That
it.
is it. 10-0. The hype is real. Khamzat.
Welcome to the UFC, brother. The Li Jingliang Slam and Submission, UFC 267. Many prospects enter the UFC with hype, but few live up to it with performances that become instant highlights. At UFC 267, against the established and dangerous Li Jingliang, Chimaev showed no interest in a measured approach. He effortlessly scooped up the physically strong Li, carried him across the octagon, and deposited him right in front of UFC President Dana White, a gesture that symbolized absolute dominance. With unrelenting pressure and precise control, Chimaev immediately transitioned to a choke, putting Li to sleep without absorbing a single significant strike in return. The image of Chimaev parading his opponent across the cage has become one of the most iconic and brutal moments in modern MMA lore. The War with Gilbert Burns, savage exchanges and relentless pressure, UFC 273. Until his clash with welterweight powerhouse Gilbert Burns, Chimaev had yet to meet an opponent who could withstand his storm. What followed was arguably 2022's Fight of the Year, a non-stop 3-round brawl that tested and showcased both fighters' toughness and violence. Chimaev dropped Burns with a slick jab, unleashed crushing combinations, and traded hellacious blows, often leaving both men on the brink. The fury of Chimaev's approach was matched by Burns' heart, but in the closing stretches, it was Chimaev's relentless pressure, knees to the body, and savage uppercuts that nearly finished the Brazilian. The visual of both battered fighters swinging wildly to the final bell perfectly encapsulated the chaos and brutality of Chimaev's fighting style, with each exchange fueling his reputation as one of the most violent athletes in the sport.
Winner Khamzat Chimaev.
Hey, so what now? Say something! So what now? I you all you boys! This is Chelsea, motherfuckers!
Khamzat, that was an incredibly impressive performance against a very dangerous guy in Kevin Holland, but you just ran right through it.
I'm the most dangerous guy here. I gotta come for everyone. I kill everybody. Allah Akbar!
Shattering jaws, the Robert Whittaker neck crank, UFC 308. The brutality of Khamzat Chimaev is perhaps best exemplified by his fight against former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker at UFC 308, a moment that elevated Chimaev's legend to new heights. In just over 3 minutes, Chimaev showcased masterful grappling. He expertly dismantled Whittaker's defensive posts, transitioned with rapid-fire precision, and locked in a face-crank submission. The pressure was so severe that it dislocated Whittaker's jaw and dislodged several of his bottom teeth, a finishing sequence so vicious that cage-side observers would never forget the audible pop. This was violence in its purest form, the product of perfect technique fused with overwhelming force. In the aftermath, Chimaev's transition from feared welterweight to legitimate middleweight contender was complete, and his legend as a boogeyman only grew. Smashing through opponents in seconds to dismantling elite contenders without taking damage, Khamzat Chimaev isn't just a fighter. He's a storm that leaves nothing standing. Every one of these performances has added another layer to his terrifying reputation. And even now, fans are wondering who, if anyone, can stop him. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into UFC's most violent and unforgettable moments, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you never miss a video, and drop your favorite Chimaev fight in the comments below. This is just one chapter in Borz's violent saga, and trust me, the story isn't over yet.
I'm the champ! I'm the king! Dana, what's wrong with the UFC, man? Give me the belt!
Ladies and gentlemen, still undefeated.